It is Saturday, February 17th here at the West End Gun Club. It's a little bit past 6:30. We're up here on the upper range of the facility, and I came out here this morning just to pop off a few rounds off a new tripod. And this is not it. This is my really RRS Stuff SOAR TVC-22i. This is the inverted two-segment tripod. This is quite popular in the PRS scene simply because it is a fast to deploy tripod. The reason why it's fast to deploy is because of that inverted nature. Inverted being that the bottom legs are on the outside of the top legs, which are the inner. And the reason why you do that is because what you can do in this design is you have a locking collar, and all you do is unlock, hold that, and just drop down the bottom leg. And then you lock it, and you can keep your hand on the locking collar, and then you have a very easy to adjust, fast to deploy tripod because it's simply no release. You know, you're keeping your hand on one spot of that tripod in order to control the leg. Unlike on a traditional tripod such as this really RRS Stuff SOAR TFCT-34, which is their 4-segment tripod series 3, you can see that the top legs are on the outside. So with the locking collar, you'll unlock it, and then you drop the bottom legs, the inner leg below it, that segment. Then you go down, if you want this next segment, you unlock that lock, then you drop, you have to release your hand and then manipulate that bottom segment or the lower segment beneath it. And if you want to retract it, basically you're going to release, bring up that segment, lock, release, bring up this segment, lock. And so that is slower to deploy. And if you watched my footage from my NRL Hunter match that I shot in January, you can see how it is kind of slow because you're basically moving your hand multiple times on this one leg just to release it. Not to mention you do have multiple segments on this tripod. And so the inverted tripod I'm going to switch to, or I would like to switch to for NRL Hunter. However, the reason why I don't like this for NRL Hunter is simply because it is too long. In its fully collapsed state, if you want to call it fully collapsed, this is roughly 42 inches, I believe. I have some notes here. 42. Yeah, it's about 42. And it's quite a bit long with this head. So I had it 40. I think I had it 42 with the leveling base, and then I think this is about 44 with this BH55. So it adds quite a bit of length. So this is 44 inches, and if you were to put this on the back of my backpack here, get this on camera, it would kind of stick pretty high up. And, you know, that's fine. I mean, you can work with that, but it is not very field expedient compared to, say, this 34, which when it collapses down, it's quite compact. And so I like this for field use. However, for match use, the inverted tripod is going to be better. So that being said, Really RRS Stuff did come out with a new version of their TVC-22i, or called the TVC-22i Compact. So this is it, TVC-22i Compact. Got to learn all the acronyms. So I have it here, and this is my new tripod. I have it outfitted with the leveling base on the original TVC-22i, the full size. I have my BH55. It came with this leveling base. I bought it with the leveling base, and I actually like it, but I switched to the ball head simply because I was using this a lot for glassing, to be honest. And I'll just put this here for a little bit of a height reference here. But if you can see on their shortest position, this is kind of how it lays out in terms of height. So you can see that this is a lot lower. This is kind of the midway point, and this is like the tall section here. The reason why they designed this is simply for field type use, because mostly like it for NRL Hunter, because you want something that's fast to deploy but not as large as this, or tall as this. And I didn't think there was going to be much use for it when I saw it originally, when they originally announced it late last year, I believe, mid last year. But after shooting my first NRL Hunter match, I figured, hey, I think that's going to work pretty well, so I picked it up. And so we'll see how this goes. Just some quick specs here. I have some notes. Weight-wise, so I believe we have, it's shipped 3 pounds, 8 ounces with no head. And when you take off this little platform that comes with the 3/8 inch stud, 3/8 or 3/16? 3/8. 3/8? No, it had to be 3/8. 3/8 16 stud. you can take that off and it drops like 3.5 ounces, and then you put this leveling base on, which weighs 1 pound. The weight as it's configured here with the TA2U SC leveling base is 4 pounds 5 ounces, compared to my TFCT34 with the Anvil 30. This weighs 5 pounds 1 ounce, and my TVC-22i with the leveling base weighed that one weighed, what did it weigh? 4 pounds 15 ounces, so just under 5 pounds. So these are both roughly in the 5.5 pound standpoint versus this, which is about 4 pounds 5 ounces. So you shave about 3/4 of a pound going to this compared to those. Keep in mind, this is weight with the leveling base, not with this BH55. So weight-wise, I mean, it's going to be lighter as far as the apparent collapsed state. I believe I mentioned some heights earlier, so the collapsed heights or lengths. This is 24 inches roughly, this one is 42 inches roughly, and this one is going to be 32 inches, 34 inches, sorry, 34 inches. So you're only going to save about 8 inches on the height, but it is kind of dramatic when you see it. I think it's actually more, but 8 or 10 inches. In either case, I think this is going to be pretty good in terms of getting me the expedient use of the TVC inverted tripod, but slightly compact, or slightly more compact than this, although it's going to be a little bit longer than my TFCT34. I don't know what else to say about this. I will just mention, with very limited playing around with this stuff, it's not very tall. You can't get it. This is the fully extended height with a leveling base. And so, as you can see, I'm very short. I'm like 5'4", 5'5", very short compared to most people. I'm below average in terms of height. On level ground, this actually works pretty well from a standing height. If you want to stand with this and you're taller than 5'7", 5'8", you're like 6 foot, this is not going to be very good for standing. You're going to probably want to run a tack table, a taller head like an Anvil 30, but tack table with a bag to get you more height, and you might be able to shoot this standing. But for me, it'll work. Uphill, it does not work as well, because, you know, uphill you're kind of scrunched down. But this will work for me, and as far as the other positions, it's going to be perfect because kneeling, high kneeling, sitting and whatnot, this will be perfect. So I'm going to put this to use, and we'll see how this one goes. And as far as the heads are concerned, I am likely going to stick with the leveling base. I do not see the benefit, in all honesty, of like a fully articulated head of like an Anvil 30 or like a BH55 ball head. I can manipulate this well enough. I believe I have enough play on this to get the angles that I need for any shot and or spotting. And I am thinking about not using a tack table for the next NRL Hunter match in a couple weeks. I am likely going to go ahead and try to stick this really rest tough cinch LR on the EL range TAs, and I'm going to run it clipped, and I may shoot clipped in. So I'm thinking about that, but we'll see. I have couple weeks to decide. Anyway, let's put some rounds down range with this tripod and get a feel for it. Only fired up about 25 rounds or so that I had left over in a batch of reloads or hand loads that I made with the mil-spec primers. It's a good opportunity to run those today to test out this tripod, the TVC-22i Compact. Short range session, just wanted to get a feel for the tripod so I know how I'm going to extend the legs, because you kind of have to know for your body how you're going to extend the legs at what length, and you have to like kind of memorize like how many hand links you have left over between each segment, that sort of thing. So with the TVC-22i Compact, pretty much for standing position, you're going to extend the whole thing out for me because I'm just short, and it'll work just fine. From like a high kneeling, low kneeling sort of position, I don't even need to extend the legs. I can just extend or just spread the legs out, and that's it. I can leave them compressed, and that'll be fine for any kneeling position that I've discovered. Even at a high angle, low angle should be fine. So it's going to be easy to use. The only thing I've noticed though on a pack, if you can see here behind me, it is going to be taller, and the way it cinches up in my Stone Glacier Approach 2800 is going to be a little kind of top heavy because it extends up taller than say the TFCT 34. So it is, you know, rock side to side, just something you got to think about. So if you're running, which hopefully you're not running, but it is going to have a little bit of movement, you know, while you're hiking from stage to stage in an NRL Hunter match. But it'll be fine. And I feel that I'm going to gain the benefit of the TVC-22i, but not in a very long, extended tripod such as this, which would be very bulky or you know, kind of too big to carry around, I think. As far as, I do have leggings coming in, so I have these Coltac leggings on my TFC T34, and I have some ghetto Mignet camoform wrapped around the legs on the TVC 22i. So I ordered a set of their version 2s, which just came out from Coltac, that I'm going to put on these. And they do a custom job, or they did a custom job for me, because I think they only make them up to a 15-inch length normally. I asked them to do a 24-inch because I measured the exposed segment on the TVC-22i Compact from the locking collar to that bottom of the foot, or where the foot starts. It's 24.5 inches, so I just told them to make it 24. Give me half an inch of breathing room just in case there's some issue there. So hopefully I get those in the next couple weeks, because before the next couple weeks, the next NRL Hunter match that I'm going to shoot in is in San Diego, or San Diego County. That's the Mason Valley Hunter match. That is the first weekend of March, so I'm going to that one. Hopefully that will go better than the Ghost Hunter. Hopefully I do a little bit better. I'm thinking I will. However, a lot of people told me that the Mason Valley matches are incredibly difficult. I've heard that people have shot very, very poorly in those when they normally would shoot a lot better. So guess I get to pick the more difficult matches. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, get my gear packed up. Again, short range session. Only wanted to try out the new Really RRS SOAR TVC-22i Compact tripod. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next range vlog.